All right, we're back here with another video, and today I'm actually going to be covering the Cosmic Desktop. So I actually installed it through the Cache OS installer because I prefer Arch and was the easiest way to get into it. It came pre-installed with the desktop, and I was good to go. So I installed it through that. So I do have Cache OS here, and I did change my shell from the Fish to the ZSH. I just prefer that, but as you can see, I'm on the Cosmic Desktop, obviously running in Wayland, and this is the Cosmic Terminal. It's not a bad terminal. I mean, it's very basic, not too many settings here. You can kind of theme it based on the theme that you have set for the entire desktop. You can change font sizes, and you do have the ability to split panes within the terminal as well. So it's really not too bad. Obviously, it's pretty basic to start, but it gets the job done for what it is. I do have the tiling enabled, so you have tiling ability, right out of the gate with Cosmic Desktop, and so you can either do floating or tiling for every new workspace that you go to. And I have tiled as the default, and they do give you some very standard key bindings with that to be able to move your windows back and forth and spawn new ones, of course. So as you see, I spawn a new terminal, and it just brings it up, right on the right side automatically, and I can keep doing that, and it's just gonna keep doing it, as you can see there. And it's pretty straightforward. The tiling is not bad. I am currently using a Hyperland desktop right now, and that seems to be working really well for me. But I wanted to kind of give this a try and see what state it's at and kind of what it's doing. And it actually seems like a pretty solid state. There isn't a ton of bugs that I've run into. Really, the only thing that it's lacking is just some of the settings. So I can jump into that real quick and show you that it just doesn't have a full suite of settings like you would find in like GNOME or KDE, with it being more of a kind of traditional desktop and not a tiling window manager. You would expect obviously more settings, but it's still obviously an alpha state here, so we're going to take it for what it is. But everything that is here is working really well, so that I do have to give them props for, because everything just seems to be working. You have the wallpapers, the appearance, which is really nice. You can change the accent color, pretty much anything you want. You can change the actual background color to anything you want. And it just happens immediately, literally as you're doing it. I don't know where it was set before that, but we can just go with that. You can change the container background and the tent and everything on there. So you can also change whether you want rounded. So everything's kind of rounded, as you can see in the top left hand corner. It's rounded up there. I can go slightly rounded, and as you can see, the corners kind of change, and then I can go square. Then you get the boxy corners, and it actually changes like everywhere. So like now this is completely boxy. My toggles are completely boxy. So if I change this and go here, you can see they're slightly rounded. And if I go to rounded, you can see they're completely rounded. I prefer my like windows to be squared, which these are pretty squared for the most part, but I do prefer everything else to be kind of rounded. I think that's just a better look. So I like that they give that styling option, out of the gate. And you also can change your gaps between windows, wind tiling, which is nice. But obviously, once it's fully live, I would hope to see a little bit more customizability for different areas. Obviously, like with KDE, there's a suite of stuff you can do to customize your desktop. Yeah, so this is very early stages, so we'll see. Under displays, you have your average display manager here to be able to put your windows and stuff. So I have two monitors, right side by side with each other. I do like that when you're on a specific monitor, you can actually change the scaling, because on my monitor to the left of this monitor is actually only 1080p, and then I have a 4K monitor here that I have scaled down to 2K there. But I like that you can change the scaling, so now I have my scaling match so that they're not completely different sizes for text and the window sizes and everything, so everything kind of matches. Obviously this does bring down your clarity a little bit, but all I ever put on that other screen is either my OBS or some like Discord or Telegram or just some side stuff. It's not my main working monitor, so it does have some stuff over there, but I don't really care about the clarity on that specific monitor. So I love that you can do that scaling right out of the box. So that's really nice. You do have power management, which is really basic. I think there's a little bit more stuff in here if you have a laptop, but obviously with the desktop here, this is pretty basic. Inputs, also pretty basic, kind of standard things. You do have the ability to add new shortcuts and key bindings here. So I did add a couple to open OBS, Telegram, Chrome, and Discord. I've been bouncing between browsers there, but Chrome is what I'm currently using. You guys can hate all you want, but it just works. But yeah, so time management, date and time, change the time zones, everything in there set automatically. It was just set automatically by default. It's been working fine. I don't believe you can actually add new users on here. They do have a user section, but there's nothing kind of there. Then you have your about, that kind of shows you about your hardware and your system, and also the software as well. And then you have firmware details. So everything is pretty standard there, but there is not much else to it. So you can't really change a whole lot diving into the settings, but you do have your basics here. So like if you really wanted to run this as a daily driver, you have enough of the basics to actually run it. Like I've used it for a couple days now myself just to kind of test it out and see if it's buggy or anything, but it's pretty solid. It works pretty well. I like the look of it. You can change the top bar and everything. If I go under desktop, and then you can change your panel, which is at the top there. You can change if it has gaps or if it's like flushed up against the top there. You can change the appearance to match the desktop, or you can go dark or light with that as well. Opacity, make it transparent if you want to. You can configure the applets. There are no like new applets available. Obviously, like third-party applets and stuff will be available down the road, but everything is kind of just made by the Cosmic team currently, and you can just move these around and remove and add them as you want to, which makes it pretty nice. It's not bad. I mean, you have all the basic things that you do need out of the gate, as far as like volume, and I think there's a Bluetooth one, and it does put your running apps up here as well, so it gets the job done for the basics there. And then you'd also have the dock. So I have mine dock down here. I have it automatically hide, so it goes away when I'm not on it, or if I have a window open, it kind of just pushes it out of the way. And that really works really well. One big thing that I do like about the Cosmic Desktop is their workspace management. You can do vertical or horizontal, so you can change that up depending on your preference. Because I know like GNOME, I think by default is vertical, and then like most window managers are horizontal. So you can pick what you want. I just chose the default. I do like horizontal better. That's typically what I'm used to. But really, what I love is that with the multi-monitor behavior, you can have separate workspaces, completely separate on each monitor, which is how a tiling window manager typically works. But if you're ever use KDE, you'd know that it's all based on one workspace. So if I move both monitors to a different workspace instead of just the one monitor, which I can't stand that for whatever reason. I like, if I'm gonna have like my messaging stuff or OBS open on another monitor, I just want it to stay there. Like if I want to switch, on this monitor, I want to switch up and down. I don't want it to switch on my other monitor, because like I have OBS open right now, and if I were to switch right here, that would mean my OBS would go away, and then a new workspace would be available on that second monitor, and that just doesn't make sense to me when I'm on this specific monitor now. So I think it makes the most sense to have that feature. So the fact that it's this early and they have that by default, that makes it promising for newer features to really be optimized and make things work the way it should. So yeah, so I really think that Cosmic is on its way. They do have quite a few apps already. So they have Cosmic Files, and they have obviously Cosmic Settings, Cosmic Terminal. They do have an editor as well, which is pretty straightforward. I mean, it's better. It's about, I don't know if it's better than like Kate or Genie or something like that, but it's pretty on par. I'll say that it's pretty on par with it. And then you do have like your Cosmic Files, so the typical, it looks just like GNOME's file manager. And they do take a lot of inspiration from GNOME, obviously, with them already using Pop! OS and having that already in there. It does make for it easy to kind of use that out of the gate and make it easy for you. So yeah, other than that, there really isn't much there. A lot of these other things, I downloaded myself to use the desktop for my everyday use. But yeah, I feel like this is a good start. I have not really had too many issues or any bugginess, and it's been pretty good. So yeah, if you like the content and want me to review some more distros or desktops, definitely let me know in the comments below. Let me know if you've tried out the Cosmic desktop as well, if you're liking it. But otherwise, like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.